Imagine walking in shallow water, white sand and beautiful seashells beneath your feet, and then you spot a tiny, pretty snail shell, as perfect as a masterpiece of the ocean. But little do you know, right inside that shell is one of the most dangerous creatures on the planet, a species that can kill you in just a few minutes with almost no warning signs. What makes a sluggish snail such a terrifying killer, and why did nature create such a perfect weapon? Let's explore how the cone snail hunts, how it uses venom to attack the nervous system, and why this deadly weapon could become the key to saving human lives in the future. The deadly power of cone snail venom. The cone snail is one of the most venomous animals ever known, and the terrifying part is that just a tiny drop of its venom contains enough toxin to kill over 20 human adults. This number is no exaggeration, as only about 0.029 milligrams of venom is enough to stop a human heart, an amount so small it is almost invisible to the naked eye. Unlike many other venomous animals, the cone snail gives you no time to react. There is no specific anti-venom, and if severely attacked, all you can do is wait as your body gradually loses control. What makes this venom particularly dangerous lies not only in its potency, but also in the speed at which it affects the nervous system, leaving the victim almost unaware of what is happening until it is too late. And this raises a major question. Why does such a tiny creature possess such a terrifying weapon? How the cone snail hunts. The attack mechanism. To understand the danger of the cone snail, we need to look at how it hunts, a process so fast it is almost impossible to observe with the naked eye. Upon detecting prey, the cone snail can strike in just 200 to 500 milliseconds, faster than the blink of a human eye. The prey, usually small fish, has almost no chance to react, twitching slightly before being instantly and completely paralyzed. Behind that lightning-fast attack is an incredibly sophisticated biological system in which the cone snail's harpoon-like tooth acts as a microscopic hypodermic needle fired at extremely high speed to pierce the prey's skin and scales. Upon contact, the venom is injected into the body, directly attacking the nervous system, disrupting signals between the brain and muscles, and rendering the prey unable to move. Amazingly, the cone snail does not need to chase its prey, as a single accurate shot that is enough to end it all. Anatomy and biological characteristics of the cone snail. At first glance, the cone snail looks like any other sea snail, sluggish, tiny, and hidden inside a beautiful spiral shell. But in reality, its entire body is designed as a perfect hunting machine. The hard, smooth shell protects it from predators, while allowing it to easily hide under the sand like a sniper waiting for the right moment. The cone snail moves using a large muscle mass called a foot, gliding slowly across the sea floor at a speed of just a few centimeters per second. But this very slowness helps it approach prey silently. Its eyes have almost no clear vision, only distinguishing between light and dark, so it relies on a special organ called a siphon, which acts as a highly sensitive nose, helping it taste the water and detect the chemical trails of prey from afar. Once the target is identified, the cone snail prepares its deadly weapon, ready to launch an unavoidable attack. The chemical warfare hunting method. Not all cone snails hunt directly. Some species use a much more sophisticated tactic, akin to chemical warfare at the bottom of the ocean. Instead of attacking immediately, they release a cloud of chemicals into the water, containing a mixture of toxins that makes surrounding fish sluggish, disoriented, and almost unable to react. This is not complete paralysis, but rather like the prey's nervous system being paused, leaving them suspended in a state of lost control. At that point, the cone snail simply approaches slowly and sucks the prey into its mouth without encountering any resistance. Afterward, it still uses its venomous harpoon to finish the job completely, ensuring the prey has no chance of escape. This tactic is not only effective but also demonstrates the astonishing level of sophistication of this seemingly simple creature. The most dangerous cone snail species. Currently, scientists have identified over 800 different species of cone snails, and all of them are capable of producing venom. However, only about 10 to 20 of these species hunt fish and are dangerous enough to harm humans. The most famous among them is Conus geographus, commonly known as the geography cone, a species that has caused many recorded fatalities. There are also species like Conus striatus, Conus magus, or Conus tulipa, all of which possess extremely potent venom designed to take down prey in an instant. The common trait among these species is that their venom acts incredibly fast on the nervous system, leaving the victim with no chance to react. And the terrifying part is that their appearance is incredibly beautiful, making humans easily attracted to them and unintentionally coming into contact without realizing the imminent danger. Distribution and habitat. Cone snails primarily live in tropical and subtropical seas, being especially common in the Indian and Pacific Ocean regions, such as the Philippines, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Northern Australia. These are all places with rich coral reef ecosystems, warm water, and ideal conditions for their development. Some species are also found in the Caribbean, along the coast of East Africa, and even in the Mediterranean, but the most dangerous species usually appear in areas where people frequently dim or vacation. This makes the risk of encountering a cone snail far from small, especially for those unaware of their existence. And when an accident occurs, the most concerning aspect is that modern medicine still lacks an effective way to cope with it. Why there is no anti-venom yet? One of the things that makes the cone snail so terrifying is that, to date, there is still no effective antivenom for its venom. When attacked, doctors can only apply supportive measures such as helping the patient breathe with a ventilator, monitoring their heart rate, and controlling symptoms until the body naturally eliminates the toxins. The reason for this lies in the complex nature of cone snail venom itself, as it is not a single substance but a mixture of dozens or even hundreds of different small proteins, each with a distinct effect on the nervous system. This makes developing a universal antivenom almost impossible because each cone snail species has its own unique venom recipe. And even if a component is identified, fully understanding its mechanism of action and finding a way to neutralize it remains an immense challenge for modern science. The complex structure of conotoxins. Cone snail venom is one of the most complex chemical systems in nature, consisting of thousands of small peptides called conotoxins. Each conotoxin acts as a molecular weapon precisely designed to attack a specific target in the body, from blocking ion channels and disrupting nerve signals to preventing muscle contraction. What is special is that each cone snail species has its own distinct set of conotoxins, and the total number of these compounds across all species could reach over 100,000. This diversity makes research incredibly difficult, as scientists must not only identify each compound, but also understand how they interact with one another. This is a puzzle with thousands of variables, and just when it seems a part has been understood, new factors emerge that make everything even more complicated. How the cone snail adjusts its venom. One of the most mysterious things about the cone snail is its ability to change the composition of its venom depending on the situation. There is evidence showing that some species can adjust their venom recipe based on the type of prey, their movement speed, or environmental circumstances. For example, with fast prey like fish, the venom will focus on causing instant paralysis, whereas with slower creatures, it might act more gradually. However, the exact mechanism of this process is still not fully understood, and scientists are still trying to find the answer. The only certainty is that the cone snail does not simply kill its prey, it customizes the kill with extreme precision. Fatalities in actual danger. In history, there have been over 30 recorded fatalities caused by cone snails, mostly involving the species Conus geographus. This species is even known as the cigarette snail, because legend has it that if stung by one, you only have enough time to smoke a cigarette before you die. The terrifying part is that victims often do not feel pain immediately, just a slight numbness. But in reality, the venom has already begun attacking the nervous system. By the time symptoms appear, such as shortness of breath or muscle weakness, it is already too late for effective intervention. This is exactly why the cone snail is classified among the most dangerous creatures on the planet. Medical applications of the venom. Despite being extremely dangerous, cone snail venom opens up massive opportunities in medicine. A prime example is the compound ziconotide, developed from the venom of Conus magus, which is currently used as a powerful painkiller for patients with severe chronic pain. Unlike opioids, Ziconotide is non-addictive and does not affect the brain's pleasure center, although its use requires direct injection into the spinal cord. Additionally, scientists are researching other conotoxins to treat diseases such as epilepsy, Parkinson's, and various other neurological disorders. What is special is that these compounds have the ability to act with extreme precision on specific targets within the nervous system, paving a new path for precision medicine. Future potential in medicine. It doesn't stop there. Some studies also show that cone snail venom could be used in treating diabetes, thanks to a special form of insulin found in the toxic cloud that some species use to hunt. This type of insulin acts faster and more effectively than regular insulin and is currently being developed in preclinical studies. Furthermore, other compounds in the venom are also being tested for cardiovascular diseases, immune disorders, and even cancer. From a perfect killing weapon, cone snail venom could become one of the most important keys in curing human diseases. The cone snail may be the most dangerous snail in the world, but at the same time, it could also be one of the creatures bringing the most hope to modern medicine. From its ability to kill in an instant to its potential to save millions of lives, it is a clear testament to the complexity and wonder of nature. If you found this content interesting, please hit like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next fascinating science stories.